is Andre Perez. I'm a trans Puerto Rican filmmaker, community organizer, artist, educator, and I am excited to be here. I grew up in a Southern Baptist family in a military town in the South. So like it was like the nexus of conservatism, and I really had this disposition towards the idea of fairness. um, and I was just like, well, it's not fair. Like, why shouldn't everyone have healthcare? Shouldn't everyone have the things they need? Like, why isn't life fair? Like, shouldn't we do something about that? So I think I was like such a like little activist even when I was like 8. I'm just, but in terms of gender stuff, I don't know. I mean, I was a tomboy, which in our society, it's like you're allowed to be a tomboy up until a certain point. And then suddenly, you're supposed to become a woman, And so I feel like in my early childhood, I never really felt like I was like trans per se, but I think that I got in lots of fights with boys because I would go play sports, and then they would get mocked if I was like better than them at a sport, and they'd come start a fight, and so there was just a lot of like fighting, and yeah. And so then when I became a teenager, it started to unravel a little bit because I was like, well, I don't want to. I've never worn a dress. Why would I do it now? And then, I didn't really ever think about the idea of being trans until I went to college. I guess I would say you should worry less about pleasing other people and worry more about figuring out what's right for you. And I mean, and I don't think I would believe myself, but I would want to try to instill the idea that I was actually going to be okay. I think when I was 18, I was homeless. I was in college. I was trying to figure out, like I had been rejected by my family. And so, there was just so many things up in the air. And I think that period of time really instilled in me this deep sense of insecurity and fear. And I think I lived with that fear of that I would become homeless for a long time. And it wasn't until I was in my mid-20s that I could really start to peel back, like where does this come from and why, and how can I own my experiences, even the ones that have been traumatic. And in a lot of ways, because I grew up in a domestically violent family, there was kind of this shroud of secrecy that I felt obligated to maintain. And so much of my work, both professionally and personally, has been about finding ways to be empowered in my experiences and to see the strength and resilience that I have and that other people like me have. And so in 2007, I founded the Transgender Oral History Project. I started interviewing people who were elders in the community. A lot of people didn't see themselves or their experiences as being amazing, like there are these foundational people who are founding organizations, and in their mind they're just helping people out, But in my mind, I was like, you are the legacy of the trans community, and I want to do things that sort of honor and respect that legacy and build on it in supporting my own community. And so I was interviewing folks who had never sort of been interviewed before, and so that was like really rewarding to me. And as it went along, at first I was just so inspired by the people that I was meeting, but then I started to realize that in doing the recording that I was creating something that could be valuable to other people, and that could both inspire people in the community, but also that it was in some ways like validating that the trans elders have done these amazing things and that we care about it.